Hi guys, welcome to my channel Canada PR Dream, and today we're gonna talk about the SINP. Yes, SINP, very important provincial nominee program which was famous, and they recently opened Saskatchewan Immigration Nominee Program. It has opened recently, and they had added many NOCs in their occupation and demand list. They have the two categories, as you know. One is the international skilled worker occupation and demand categories, which is very famous for the people with the low IELTS category, and the second one is international skilled worker Saskatchewan Express Entry. This is the Express Entry program where you need CLB level 7 or the IELTS 6 each. Now let's see how this category work and what are the point system. It has two factor which can increase your points. Factor 1, which has a maximum of 70 points. If you don't have any connection, then that's the maximum point you can get, which depends on your education, which has a maximum of 23 points. If then the skilled worker experience, maximum of 15 points. Then the language capabilities, which has the maximum of 20 points, and the last but not least is the age factor, which has the maximum of 12 points. These are the factors which can increase or decrease your points for the factor 1 if you don't have any connection. The next one is a connection to the Saskatchewan labor market or the adaptabilities. If you have any close connections in the Saskatchewan, then you can get 20 points. This category has a maximum of 30 points. So if you have the 20 points from your family, and if you have some points on the factor 1, you can get the ITA from the Saskatchewan. If you have the work experience or if you have studied in Saskatchewan, then you get the maximum of 5 points each on those categories. And if you have some job offer in the subcategories, then also you can get the maximum of 30 points. So this is the factor 1 and the factor 2. This is very important for you to know where you stand. Maximum points, if you don't have connections, is 70 points, and maximum points for the connections is 30 points. So you have to score out of 100. If you could score more than 60, then you are eligible for this category. So now see this factor in the detail. So for the factor 1, which is about your educations, for the education, if you get the master degree, you get the maximum of 23 points, and if you're the bachelor, you get the 20 points. So higher the educations, higher the points; lower the education, lower the points. Now let's see the experience. If you're the in the last 5 years, if you have the 5 years of experience, then you can get the 10 points. But if you have the 4 years of experience, then you only get 8 points. So more the experience in the last 5 years, more the point you can get. If you have the 1 year experience, it's just 2 points. Now between the 6 to 10 years, if you have in the last 6 to 10 years, if you have the experience of like 5 years, if you have worked 5 years in last 6 to 10 years, that's the maximum points you can get, which is like 5 points. If you have the 4 year experience, then the 4, 3 is 3, 2 is 2, and 1 to 1. Now the language ability, if you have the CLB level 8, then you can get the maximum point of 20, and if you have the level 7, then you get the least point for the CLB, which is 18 points. Now let's move on to the age. If you can see this one here, the 22 to 34 is the best age where you can get the maximum point. These points are 12 points. And now move on to the different factor, which is factor 2, which is regarding your close relatives, your experience, or the study in the Saskatchewan. If you have the close relatives like your parents, your siblings, your aunt, your uncle, nephew, or step families, or the in-laws, they can give you the maximum of 20 points. And if you have the past work experience, then you can get the 5 points, or the study will give you the 5 points as well. What are the SINP demand occupation list? So they have the NOC O, A, and the B. They have added so many NOCs, and they have excluded so many NOCs, so you have to watch out for the list. If they are in the demand, you can apply, and in order to apply for this occupation list, you have to follow the NOC 2011 matrix. Please guys, remember, now SINP has the excluded occupation list. So if your occupation is excluded from this list, then you cannot apply, and you also need to see what are the requirement of particular NOCs specifically for the Saskatchewan. So let's check these categories in detail. First thing is occupation and demand categories. What is the eligibility for this one? You need to pay the $350 once you get ITA. You need to have the 60 score out of 100. You need to have the CLB level 4 in English, and you need ECA from the designated organizations. Now ECA is must for this category too. Uh, let's see the eligibilities in the categories for this Saskatchewan occupation and demand categories. That you need to have the 1 year of experience in the field of educations. If you are from the skilled professions like a non-trade, you need to have the 1 year. If you are from the skilled trade, then 2 years in the last 5 years. And if you are in Canada, then the 12 months work experience in Canada in the last 3 years. Your occupation has to be in demand categories. It not be on the excluded list. You need, if you need a license, you need to provide the proof that you are applying or you have the license, and need to have the proof of the settlement fund. Now let's move on to the express entry categories. What are the eligibility criteria for these express entry categories? Here, as well as you need the express entry profile and you need the job seeker codes. You still need 60 points out of 100. You need still need ECA. You need to have the settlement fund, and you need to have a proof of that this fund is available for you, and you need a settlement plan uh, for this one too. uh, let's see that in the detail, that you need to have the diploma or the certificate or a degree which is comparable to the Canadian educations. You need to have the 1 year experience in the last 10 years, 2 years experience in the last 5 years if he's trade worker, or if a 12-month work experience in the past 3 years if he's from Canada. So let's see what is the process for this SINP. So once you get your year profile, you will be in pool, and then they will select the people and they will apply. They will send you the ITA. Once you submit the applications, SINP process will start, and they will notify you whether you need the license or not. Whether if they have any queries, they're gonna send you additional documentation request, which is called ADR. Let's see how the candidates are ranked. So once you are in the pool, they will automatically put you on a list that okay, SINP grid. And once you are the SINP grid, they will see whether you have the connection to the province, whether you have the work experience, and whether you have the language ability. And based on those one, you will always get the points, and you will be like ranked accordingly. So if you have received your invitations before they remove your occupation list, then they will still continue your profile. But if they have removed before you get the ITA, then they will not start a process. SNP has a tendency to do these occupation specific selections, so they might select the one or two occupations and they will exclude some occupations. So what are the forms? The forms are given on this site. You can see here what are the forms required. I will put the link into this group descriptions, and you can check the forms there. The settlement fund, we're gonna talk after this guideline regarding the forms. The settlement funds depends on the your size of the family. They have updated the scores, the settlement fund from the 1st of October. So make sure you have this fund enough for last 3 months before you submit your applications. You need to have that fund in your bank account, and SMP will ask you for the proof for that one, and gift it is not acceptable. What are the proof you can submit for the POF, which is proof of fund? You can submit your check, bonds, cash value life insurance, GIC certificate, mutual funds, and all those stuff you can submit. Make sure you submit all the proof which you can submit. Thanks for watching my video. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching this video.